So yeah, this thing is not as loud as I thought it would be, and more importantly, it doesn't sound as high-pitched and squealy as I thought it would be. And it's also reversible. You have this nice little control under here. Just flip it over like that. I think it's a really cool design. Whole thing's made out of what appears to be polished aluminum. Yeah, righty-tighty, there we go. Whole thing's made out of what appears to be polished aluminum. It looks like a brand new power tool would have 50 years ago. And I'm really excited about this. I think it looks great, and I'm really optimistic to see how well it's going to perform. So we are feeding it off a 1/2-inch air line. You can see my ridiculous adapter set up here, so hopefully that gets us a little more pillock out of this thing. And bring my air hose over. Yeah, let's see what happens. Yeah, this thing does turn obscenely slow. It's a little slower for smaller bits like this, but you know, you can't really have a true variable speed setup. You can adjust the speed a little bit, but that, you know, you lose a lot of torque if it's only open a little bit. So I understand why they do this, and I think it's a good speed because it's a little slow for stuff like this, a little large for say a 3/4 inch drill bit for going through steel, but it's a nice medium ground. I'm glad they didn't make it any slower though, honestly. So we have that. It's really smooth. Another thing I like, I hadn't noticed this before, but up in here, due to the shape of this and the design of this grip, it's really easy to hike your hand up like this and get a lot of force going straight down into your workpiece. And so you get a lot of torque going, a lot of weight on yourself, you can put it to use. And then there's this handle here to keep you from, you know, twisting the crap out of this wrist up here. So, yeah. Sweet, let's keep going. Put some cutting oil on here, makes a huge difference in terms of speed and cut quality and life of the drill bit, even on mild steel like this, most of y'all know. Yeah. This really, it's not that heavy and it's quite ergonomic. So this tool is already cool to the touch. Like, this is far below room temperature in this area. This is only fairly cool up in here. Someone told me the Swedes once have a saying, it's like nobody's ever gone poor from lubrication, from lubricating stuff. So yeah, that will fit this meaty 1/2-inch drive thingamajigger on here. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, like I said, I've had air tools that have lasted for years and years and years, and they're still going. The only one I ever killed was a god-awful Craftsman brand impact wrench. That thing was not good at all. But other than that, they've all lasted for years and years, and they're still going. But the secret is you gotta oil the things. All right, let's see how easy it is to take this bit out of here. Extremely. Okay, great. Hole saw time. That's a good friggin' hole saw. Thank you. I do hate hole sawing stuff. I wish this steel was thick enough so my mag drill could bite it, but it's only 1/8 inch. Hole. I love it. Yeah. Not bad. You know what? Really not even that bad on the wrists. And this thing has an obscene amount of torque. It's making my 13 CFM 60-gallon air compressor run about non-stop. But it's a Quincy, so it's a piece of junk in the first place. And this thing is performing extremely, extremely well. really not bad. Now granted, this is a new hole saw. I honestly think this is actually easier than running this with the electric drill before I smoked it. The problem we're having is instead of getting so hot it smokes, this area is actually so cold it's actually getting a little uncomfortable for me to grab onto. So I'm gonna do the next one with a glove here. I mean, it's a world of difference. It really makes me wish I'd discovered pneumatic drills beforehand. Okay, so I've discovered a very interesting phenomenon running this. When it grabs, it kind of stops. It's not like there's a slip clutch inside, but due to the fact it's a pneumatic tool instead of, you know, an electric one, it stops a lot sooner, so that equates to a lot less damage on your wrist as you're actually drilling through stuff. I'm not an engineer, I can't really explain it any other way, but I will say that using hole saws this size or even smaller, when an electric drill grabs, it hurts a lot more than this thing, which hurts a lot less. So you say, is it less powerful? No, it doesn't feel any less powerful. It feels just as torquey or more, yet for some reason when it grabs, it sucks less. I can't really explain it, but I'm pretty happy with it. Thread cutting oil is your friend. Dark thread cutting oil specifically, for everyone that keeps asking me what I use for drilling. How was it?
Very nice. Very smooth, actually. Yeah. We got smoke, but it ain't from the drill.
Yep. Also smells a lot better.
Yeah.
So this thing works extremely well. Anybody who's ever used a battery powered, you know, or electric impact wrench and a pneumatic one knows that generally the pneumatic impact is going to have a lot more force behind it. It just plain and simple kicks harder on rusted fasteners, and usually they last a lot longer, not to mention that quality ones often cost less in the first place. And it seems like that's held true with the with this little Ingersoll Rand drill here. So, you know, I was willing to take a chance on this because, like I said, I really love pneumatic tools, and I'm really glad I did because this thing seems legit. Now, assuming it lasts, which I'm fairly confident it will, because it looks like the design of this really hasn't changed in 50, 60 plus years, and it's made by Ingersoll Rand, so they're a pretty reputable company. Unfortunately, it's Chinese. I would have paid a few extra bucks if I could have found a domestically produced one, but, you know, I wasn't able to. But other than that, I mean, it seems like it's actually going to stand the test of time really well. It's all solid aluminum. This part up here might be machined steel. This little left-right flippy switch thing, I think this is really cool. It's a different design, but once you get the hang of it, it actually is fairly ergonomic. It's just a little different than a regular like crossbar style thing that your average drill would have. So yeah, really pleased with this thing. I think it was worth every penny, provided it lasts, which again, I really think it will. Seems beautifully made. It's just so nice to run, and I'm really glad I bought this thing. So if anybody wants to check one out, links in the description. Otherwise, we gotta clean this up and get to welding on it. Thanks for watching, everybody.